let's start with Kyle Shanahan. Coaches do everything they can not to give up, bulletin board material. But here is Kyle Shanahan's summary of the Green Bay Packers defense.
They look real good versus Dallas. I think they've looked, haven't got to watch much of them until these last 10 days, and obviously picked it up a lot more these last 2 days. But I think they're a very good defense. The numbers don't always tell the truth. They had a couple games that got some cheap yards, but they're good in the run, good in the pass. They can get to the quarterback. They're extremely sound. They're getting healthier. Ton of respect for Joe. Got to work with him my first couple of years of my career in Tampa. He's been involved in a number of different defenses and playing against him a few times with the Rams and Green Bay. His scheme just keeps getting sounder and better.
The Green Bay Packers defense played 89 snaps last week on a short week on the road against the Cowboys. Now, a lot of those were, backups, but not all of them. And so, I just messed up my thing. I got to go back. Way to go, Packers. You guys messed it all up. So whenever I'm looking at, just defensive snaps, right? That wears you out. It wears you out. Now, not all of them played that many snaps, right? But some did. Carrington Valentine, their starting corner, who's not good. He's not good at all. He played every single snap defensively. Every single snap. Their free safety, who's a starter, 89 snaps. Their other slot corner played 89 snaps. They stayed at nickel the whole time. Gosh, I hope they do that against us. Darnell Savage, 79 snaps. Devondre Campbell, 75 snaps. Quay Walker, 67 snaps. You see what I mean? Like, they played a lot of snaps, and they gave up 500 yards. So they can talk about pulling their backups and whatever else. No, they didn't. They pulled some. But they're exhausted. There's a reason why their coaches didn't let them practice and only did walkthroughs this week. Like, Grand A, I want to put it up there. I'm not going to read it, but I appreciate that comment. I'm not reading. That's awesome. So let's go through some of these numbers. Ranks out of 32 teams for the Green Bay Packers defense. They're 10th in points allowed. Now, at the end of each one of these, and I hope the numbers don't get too complicated, I'll slow it down a little bit. I'm going to tell you where the 49ers offense ranks, okay? So Packers defense, 10th in points allowed. 49ers offense, 3rd in points scored. Packers defense, 17th in yards allowed. 49ers offense, 2nd in yards. Not our defense, our offense, right? These are the matchups. Packers defense, 23rd in turnovers. Terrible. 49ers 18th. Oh, sorry, 6th best. 8th in fumbles. I'll go real quick just through some of these. 23rd in first downs. They give up so many. We're 2nd. 10th in passing touchdowns allowed. We're 2nd. It's just like, and then we get to these two, and I think these are the biggest ones, and shout out to Coach Cruz. The Packers allow the 28th most rushing yards in the NFL. There's only 32 teams. There's only 32. 49ers offense, 3rd most rushing yards. The Packers defense, average 17th in rushing touchdowns allowed. 49ers 1st. I don't know. Whenever I was putting my bets in this week, I didn't do a lot of receiving props. 1, because the weather. 2, because the 49ers don't have to throw the ball. I really hope Shanahan doesn't go out there and try to do what he did against the Ravens and just throw. I don't want that. You don't need it. Now, there are some good players on this defense. Rashawn Gary, he's a stud. Kenny Clark, I think. Kenny Clark and Jair Alexander are their 2 best players, I think, on defense. Darnell Savage, decent. Jair Alexander is even going to play. That's a huge question for me. Now, Brock Purdy was asked about going against this Green Bay secondary. And again, let me just list the starters. Jair Alexander, maybe. Nixon, their slot. Valentine, Carrington Valentine. He's a 7th round rookie this year. He's ranked 92nd overall for cornerbacks and terrible against the run. Outside zone works great. He's the 110th ranked guy against the run as a corner. Darnell Savage is good. And then Owens is their other safety, Jonathan Owens. He's all right. Listen to Brock Purdy talk. And Brock Purdy's never going to give away bulletin board material, but here's him talking about the Green Bay Packers secondary.
Yeah, I think there were just some really good plays made by their DBs. Jair Alexander with his ball instincts on his one interception, and then number 26 Savage coming down and making a good read on Dak and jumping a slant. I think I don't want to say anything on their behalf, but I mean it looks like it's playoff football, man. They're aggressive in what they're doing, and when they see an opportunity, they're willing to, like I said, be aggressive and take it. So those are all things that I think we have to take account. And for myself, obviously with the ball in my hands every play, so they're guys that can make plays, and I have to understand that. So it's going to be a really good challenge.
Yeah, I think challenge is great. The things he says is great, but let's just be honest. There's a lot of areas you can exploit. It starts with the run game for sure, but Quay Walker, their linebacker, he's ranked 64th. There's 32 teams, 2 teams each, 32 times 32. I'm not a smart man. 32 times 2, 64. That's the dead last ranked starting linebacker overall grades. He's worse in coverage. Devontae Wyatt, the dude that was talking trash, he was the one that was out there talking trash against Brock Purdy. Like, I already went in on this, but like, he's the number 161 ranked defensive tackle in the NFL against the run. And he leads the NFL in missed tackles for all defensive tackles. Come on, man. They don't blitz a lot. Joe Barry sucks, man. Joe Barry is a terrible defensive coordinator. And I don't like being that guy. But like, the Packers fans wanted this dude fired 2 months ago. Not even 1 month ago, when the Panthers put up 30 points against this dude. The Panthers, they scored 30 points once this year, and it was against this Packers team. Come on, man. They don't blitz. They're not multiple. It's a simple cover 3. Middle of the field's wide open. Purdy's the best there. Listen to their blitz numbers. They blitzed Dallas 9 times, Chicago 6, Minnesota 3 times. Purdy's the best versus the blitz anyway. It's just like, golly, man. But here's the thing. Jordan Love in the offense is great. This defense sucks. It sucks. Right here, I love this. Greg, it says, they hate Barry like they hated Capers, like they hated Petting. I forget how to say it. We got them all fired. We got Capers fired with Kaepernick. We got Pettin fired with Raheem Mostert and the Shanahan thing. And I'm not sure that they will fire him after this. He got him to the divisional round, which is a win for them. That's cool, man. Like, way to go, guys. Like, I'm happy for you, Packers. You did it. You got to the divisional round. That's a win for you. I'm not trying to be mean, but like, let's just be real. They're in the bonus. You know what I mean? They're playing with the bank's money, which can make them dangerous, but the 49ers are 3-0 in the division round the last 4 years. This is a regular game. And then people coming at me like, oh, Shanahan at big games. This isn't a big game for us. It's not. It's a big game for them. This is not a big game for us. This light work. This is routine work. This is just clocking in. That's what this is. That's why it's different.
Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.